Welcome back, everyone, to Coffee Unlimited with J and D. I'm with my co-host Danielle, and we are going to talk about a pivotal moment in history that just happened, as well as something that is around the corner, and that is the acknowledgement and rise of Bad Bunny. So hopefully you're familiar with who Bad Bunny is. He just won Album of the Year at the Grammys, and this past weekend, and this upcoming weekend, he is playing the Super Bowl halftime show, or performing, I should say, and it will be a performance. It's going to be, I think, a celebration of culture and a massive dance party around the world. So I'm super excited. I'm a huge fan of Bad Bunny for many reasons. And Danielle was gracious enough to agree to talk about this moment with me today. So thank you, Danielle. I'm curious, do you know any of Bad Bunny's music? It's okay if you don't.
I like Bad Bunny's music. I can't name any of his songs
Yeah.
because they're all in Spanish,
Yes.
but there is one popular one that I like to play. I mean, I've liked Bad Bunny ever since he started doing these skits on
Oh,
SNL. And I was like,
yes.
who is Bad Bunny? I'm like, he's
Yes.
so cute. So I started getting into him there, but I can't say that, I'm one of the 100 billion, I think, no, 100 billion streams or something that he has on
Yeah.
Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't listen to him very frequently.
Okay. That's totally fine. To be honest, I can't name a lot of his songs, but like you, I love listening to his music. I do know that my favorite song of his is Titi Me Pregunto, which translates to Auntie Asked Me. And it's all about
Wait,
Auntie Auntie,
anti-ask?
like his auntie. Yeah, like an aunt. Auntie
Yeah.
asked me, Titi me pregunto. And basically, the song is about his aunties asking him if he has too many girlfriends. And he spends the song talking about all his girlfriends and all the types of girls he likes. And
Well,
it's
he
really funny.
did
But
date Kendall Jenner.
oh, really? I didn't even know that. I
See,
didn't even
I
know
just
that.
know like all this
You
kind of
know,
stuff
you
because
know
of
pop
Blanca
culture.
too. Yeah, and I think Harry Styles dated her too, and Harry Styles gave or announced the album of the year award.
Mm.
And Blanca was like, "Isn't that interesting? They both dated Kendall Jenner." Like, is that awkward for them?
So interesting. Well, I like his music because it does seem so joyful. To me, it feels
Mm.
very joyful. I can't put a song of his on without moving and dancing. I just really love it. Actually, oh my goodness, Danielle, can I do a slight side note here?
Of
Because it's
course,
a
we
big
are
deal for me.
all.
So
We should
I
call
love
this podcast Side Notes.
it is just side notes. So, I love music. I'm a big, Justin Bieber fan, Benson Boone fan. I just love music. I love dancing, loved music my whole life. But I've recently accepted the possibility that I am tone deaf. Okay, and I do want to say this has nothing to do with me saying that I love Bad Bunny's music. I'm not trying to make a correlation there. That is not the point that I'm making, but it just recently, I had an inkling that I was like a while ago, back in college. I was I was in the Hawaii Club and I was getting ready for a luau, and we were practicing some Maori dances. But in the Maori dances, we also do some chanting and singing along with the performance. And so to start the song off, one person has to basically set the right key for everybody.
Oh, yeah, that's
So
important. That's a big job.
it is a big job. And our kumuhula, which is our hula instructor, hula teacher, she chose me at first to do it because she knew I was a confident person and I would be okay being in front and I could be up on stage. And so she said, Janelle, I'm going to have you start this. And I said, okay, no problem. She's like, you just have to say, na waka, like that was the name of the song. So I said, okay, got it. She's like, okay, so at rehearsal, we're going to do that. I said, okay. And like strum the guitar to give me a key.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a very professional. And so I'm just up there all confident and I say, nah, I can't even. I can't even. So I was like, and everyone is there. It's like, I don't know, 40 people, 40 performers. And I'm just in the front and I'm like, nah, waka. And everyone, no one follows. And she just looks at me and she's like, she shakes her head. She's like, nope, that's not it. And I was like, oh. And she goes, Randy, give us the key again. And he
Yeah,
strums it. And I was like, okay, got it. And I was like, no, waka. I was so confident that it sounded exactly like what he was playing. She's
yeah.
like, nope, that's not it. She's like, okay, you're out.
I love it.
I was fired right away. And I thought, okay, maybe that just wasn't my song. But this weekend, I'm in the car with the girls
Yeah.
and a John
But
Legend
first, I
song.
have to just say, like, I love that instead of going, oh my gosh, I'm tone deaf, you're like, you know what? That just wasn't my song.
Yeah. Yes. This was
I
someone
can
else's
sing.
opportunity. This was someone else's opportunity to shine. I'm just gonna give the stage to someone else. It's all right. So yeah, no, it didn't occur to me that I couldn't pick a tune for the life of me. But this weekend, John Legend song comes on. All of Me. I love that
Ooh,
song.
yeah,
All of
yeah,
Me.
me too.
Yes. I get very excited when that song is on because I can sing that whole song.
Oh,
One, because I know all the words, but two, I feel like I can sing it really well. So I'm just belting this song out. And Layla's in the passenger seat and she looks at me and she just shakes her head. And I said, "What?" I go, I'm really good at this song. This is John Lennon. She goes, "No, you're not, Mom." I said, "What are you talking about?" And she goes, "Mom, you're down here and he's up here." And I said, "What?" So then when the kind of main
the
part comes
chorus.
again, yeah, the chorus comes along again. I'm just belting out. She's like, "Mom, no, can you not hear it?" I said, "I don't know what you're talking about. It sounds perfect to me." And she just looks at me and then I look at her and I said, "Oh no." And
Oh
I go,
my
"Am I
goodness.
toned? Like, is it?" I looked at her, I said, is it really wrong?" She goes, "Yes, Mom, it's so wrong." And I do believe her because she's very musical. She's very good at the piano.
Okay.
She plays the saxophone, the flute, the clarinet. She's very
Oh,
musical. So I do trust her judgment on it.
yeah.
So my days of starting happy birthday for the group are over
No.
because I'm clearly starting it wrong.
I
Anyway, so
love
that's my
this.
side note. It makes me sad because I do love music so much.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I
maybe
guess
that's
I've
just,
been torturing those around me
or
for
that
many
maybe,
years.
that song of John Legend's is just not your song either. Maybe
Maybe
there's
I
another song
put it
out
on the
there.
list with
Yeah,
Nawaka. It goes on that list.
that's right.
Yeah. Okay, back to Bad Bunny. Okay, so he won Best Album this weekend, and I want to just take a moment to acknowledge why this is groundbreaking. One, I think Bad Bunny's album, winning Best Album, one redefines mainstream because
Hmm.
Bad Bunny didn't cross over by changing himself. The mainstream moved toward him. So, like Spanish language music, Caribbean rhythms, Puerto Rican slang, and references, they weren't diluted to become more palatable for
Mhm.
general US population. They were centered, which I think is huge for the organization that selected, his album as best album. And as you can clearly see, like the overwhelming support for that. It represents this changing of mainstream centering these voices that are different and that have often been marginalized. And
Yeah.
speaking of marginalized, so language. I think, you and I have well, I've worked in the diversity and inclusion space for a long time, and you have alongside me in the leadership space. But language is power. And I think winning a major US award while singing primarily in Spanish is a cultural statement that English is
Mhm.
not the default for excellence. So it
I
matters.
love
And that
that.
matters in a country
Yeah.
where language has been, used to marginalize people. So I
Hmm.
think just it is such a pivotal statement that a Spanish album won Album of the Year. And then last but not least, I think Puerto Rico is no longer a footnote. It's like the
Hmm.
headline. I think sadly, I think most Americans don't even know that Puerto Rico is a US territory. Like truly. I
Right.
think that, and this has been like since the early 1900s, that anyone
Hmm.
born in Puerto Rico is a US citizen. They can move freely between the US mainland and Puerto Rico. They can work and live on the mainland. The only, because they're a territory and not a state, I think the only restriction, major restriction they have is they can't vote in the US
Hmm.
like elections, so congressional elections and presidential election, but they are US citizens. And so, but I think it's often like this idea that Puerto Rico is like an asterisk and a footnote in American culture and in American history. But now it's, at least in this lane of music, it is the headline, which I think is amazing.
It's
So
on the
that's,
map.
yeah, those are all for me. Why, when I saw that he won, like my heart skipped a beat. I thought this is such a big step for America in a time where
Mhm.
America needs these steps, like huge
Oh,
steps.
yeah. I mean, on my walk yesterday with Scott, I was saying to him, living in Canada, it was always like the two languages of Canada were English and French. And
Mm-hmm.
it was just something that we all adopted. It was like French was everywhere. And I mean, not really related, I mean, maybe subconsciously related to Bad Bunny's album of the year. But I was like, when is the US going to acknowledge Spanish?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when can that just be part of the state's secondary, or not even secondary language, but we're a dual language
Dual
country
language.
where everybody, all the kids, they have an opportunity to learn Spanish, and they could even do Spanish immersion. So anyway, we both were like, let's
I
just
would love it.
download Duolingo and get our Spanish going.
I'm gonna pick my Spanish back up too. I studied Spanish in high school and college,
Oh,
so I do think
habla
it would.
español.
Sí. Titi me pregunto. Um, it's funny. Okay, no, I'm not going to go on that side note. I was going to go on another side note around how people learn, little bits of other languages through music and how the only French I
Oh,
know is
oh yeah.
Voulez-vous coucher
Cool.
avec moi ce soir? Um, but anyway, that's a different side note. I love that. I would love to see a day where the US has two official languages and those being English and
Mhm.
Spanish. I think that would be huge and warranted and a great step towards the future for America.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
Okay,
maybe
let's talk
Bad
about
Bunny
Super
will
Bowl
be the
though.
spark. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe Bad
Super
Bunny.
Bowl.
Yeah. So Super Bowl. So a few days ago, Bad Bunny went, no, just 2 days ago. Oh my gosh, just two
Yeah.
days ago, Bad
Sunday.
Bunny. Yeah, Sunday, Bad Bunny wins Album of the Year. And then as we look ahead, he will be taking the largest stage and performing at the halftime show of the Super Bowl, which I think is a really big deal as well. And so for me, I was thinking about this and visibility. Okay, and this is in the context of what's happening in the US right now. Bad Bunny being on stage, celebrating his culture, bringing joy, to me, is a form of resistance of what's happening right now. And so,
Mm.
because visibility during backlash is not neutral,
Wait, say that
neutral
again. Visibility during
visibility. So him
backlash.
being visible on the world's largest stage this weekend and being celebrated and being the center, like he is being centered, that visibility during this time right now, that's what's happening, that
Hmm.
that action is not a neutral action. It is
Right.
actually
Okay.
resistance.
I
It's
love
not
that.
neutral. It's not just a neutral, which I mean you can tell because of the mixed feelings about him being on
Hmm.
stage. That just shows you that it's not a neutral action. So I've major kudos to the NFL and, the powers that be that chose him for this moment
Yeah.
and him being up there, being courageous. So, because we're in a time where brown and black communities are facing rising hate, voter suppression, book bans, culture wars. So his visibility is counter programming to what's happening right now.
Mhm.
And that's defiance and that's resistance to what's happening. So it's a really big deal. I'm so curious. Like as we lead up to the moment and then when we're in the moment, really curious what the conversations will be in
Mhm.
households, on social media, on the news. I just really wonder what that's going to be like. Um,
Mhm.
because it's
Well,
representation. And that stage in
yeah.
particular matters. It's one of the most watched cultural stages in the US.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really the only thing. I mean, before we got on this call, I was like, okay, I don't even know who's playing in the Super Bowl.
Hmm.
Scott will be watching. Every year, I just watch the halftime show. That's
Yeah.
the only thing I like to watch, and I do like to watch some of the commercials.
Yeah.
But so I thought before we got on this call, I'm like, okay, let me just see a little bit about Super Bowl, who is playing, or something. Let
Yeah.
me prep a little bit for this podcast.
Yeah.
But then I saw on CNN, because I follow them
Hmm.
on Instagram, they were sharing something. I didn't watch the whole video, but this commentator was saying something like there's going to be another halftime show. So if people
Oh,
don't want
yes.
to watch Bad Bunny, there's
And
an
is it like Kid
option with
Rock?
some other, yeah, sound like I don't even know who that is, but like mainly country or something. Is it mainly,
Yeah.
is Kid Rock country? Like I don't even know
Uh,
who Kid Rock is. So
yeah.
who is that?
Yeah. Well, he's not considered country, but I think, yeah, maybe
Okay.
crosses over. But no, he's interesting. I wouldn't
I
pin
mean, I
it to
know his
Christian either.
name,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't know if I know any songs of his.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I think probably the first time ever there is an alternate uh, entertainment option for those who just can't swallow this notion of a Puerto Rican singing in Spanish on the stage. Like truly,
Yeah.
I think that's all it is. Um, but, the rest of us are going to be experiencing a lot of joy and celebration and culture and music and dance. I'm so excited for it. I'm ready to put my dancing shoes on.
Oh, I'm gonna start working on my Espanol. I'm going
Hmm.
to elaborate from the five bad words I know since
Yeah.
working in the restaurant industry in LA. That's one of the
Oh my
first words.
goodness.
And yeah, I'm just going to I love that you brought in the significance of this moment too, from that DNI
Yeah.
perspective, and really sharing it as like, this is resistance. Because
Hmm.
I think about your lens, the DEI lens that you have literally, I feel like on everything is so
Mm.
wide. The perspective is broad. And so I really appreciate you like just elevating this moment to be like,
Oh,
we should really, think about this and highlight this and
yeah.
what
Yeah.
a big deal it is. Because here
Yeah.
I am thinking like, Bad Bunny, he's so cute. I love his
Yeah. Well,
outfit.
he's talented. Yeah, no, no, and
Totally.
that's those are true. And well, I mean, I guess we cannot um talk about Super Bowl halftime shows without acknowledging Kendrick Lamar from last year. Like
Mhm.
that was truly a mic drop moment and truly,
Yeah.
I mean, that was a master class in resistance as well. And um yeah, just cultural competence and confidence, and it was amazing. It was a really amazing moment, and I think there were a lot of people that were uncomfortable with that, which is also
Yeah.
why, as we head into this Super Bowl, they many people, whatever group that is, has created this alternate version of a halftime show because
That is just so
going to
lame.
repeat last year. It
How
really is.
lame
It's
is
it's
that?
sad.
Like just lame, lame. Put your
Yeah.
big girl pants on and suck it up.
Yeah.
Like, just freaking sit down,
Yes.
shut up,
Show some
listen to some,
curiosity.
yeah,
Show
listen
some
to some good
curiosity.
music.
Titi me pregunto. Um,
Exactly. Okay,
honestly,
I'm gonna be able to rattle that off.
yes, find that
Tita?
song. It's going to get stuck in your head. You're going to want to
Okay.
listen to it all the time. All the
Tita
time.
me pregunta
Yeah. Pregunto. Yeah.
or
Titi.
pregunto?
Yes. Titi me pregunto. It
Okay.
is such a good song. You're going to love it. Well, Thank you for discussing this today with me, Danielle, because I it's been on my mind, and I couldn't contain it. So I'm so
I love
excited.
that.
I have ordered Bad Bunny hoodies that are I'm hoping arrive before Sunday because I'm going to be donning it and wearing
Oh,
it.
oh, send
So
me those links.
yes, I will.
Get some stuff too. Oh, maybe they have like a little spike Bad Bunny.
Maybe he would
Did
be
you see
adorable
his
repping.
suit? Did you see
Yeah.
his suit at the Grammys?
Wait. Oh yeah, I saw his suit. Yeah.
The stitching in the back. I saw this whole like Vogue episode of him, and his stylist, and I
Oh.
love how he shows up in all these different cool elevated outfits.
I mean, well, that's another thing. Bad Bunny's gender fluid in fashion. And he's like
Mm.
emotionally expressive. He's soft and he's strong. For those of you that are going to tune in this weekend, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you take a moment to take in all that this is and proudly embrace this moment and celebrate it. Celebrate a culture that is maybe not the one that you come from, but you can see the joy, I think, and feel the joy in his Puerto Rican culture. So, yes, thanks everybody.